One of the first things we hear about screenwriting is to avoid flashbacks. They can be tricky, often seen as a lazy way to tell a story. But what if I told you that flashbacks, when done right, can be one of the most powerful storytelling tools? Flashbacks are more than just a narrative gimmick. According to screenwriting guru Robert McKee in his book Story, a flashback is simply another form of exposition. Exposition serves two ends: to further the immediate conflict and to convey information. The film opens with a high-stakes tennis match between Art and Patrick, setting a tense atmosphere. Then we flash back to 1 week earlier. This isn't just a simple cut back in time. It's a well-crafted sequence that gives us critical insights into Art's struggles and his relationship with Tashi.
We could keep staying here.
We can. We can stay here. We can just be rich people. That's all you think you can handle. We can travel. We can do the foundation full time. Or you can keep being a tennis player, which is what you are. Still. What do you want?
I'm gonna be a tennis player.
Good.
In this scene, Art and Tashi discuss going to the challengers. We see that Art isn't going to the challenger because he wants to, but because he wants Tashi to admire him. He only wants her. This scene empowers two important elements in any screenplay: curiosity and empathy. We want to know more about these characters because now we care for them. This curiosity leads us to the importance of dramatizing flashbacks. As Robert McKee puts it, interpolate a mini-drama into the story with its own inciting incident, progressions, and turning point. But the audience's curiosity needs to be answered with a proper amount of drama. Once we know about Tashi and Art's sort of marriage, we want to know more about Patrick, the other man playing in the initial scene. The screenwriter creates a mini-drama to show Patrick's desperate circumstances and deep-seated rivalries. We can look at Patrick's flashback as a story with its own beginning, middle, and end. In the beginning, Patrick arrives at the challenger without any money to stay the night. The first turning point is that he spends the night in his own car, but what really propels his aims to win the challengers and activate the conflict of this mini-drama is the discovering that Art will be in the challenger, and so will Tashi. There we have an inciting incident. Once he finds a girl to spend the night in a hotel, he discovers Tashi is also in that hotel, and again, a turning point. After a brief encounter, she doesn't want to see him again. But Patrick does not give up. He tries to convince Tashi to be his coach, but she declines. Until Art confesses her that he wishes to retire, and Tashi decides to spend the night with Patrick to convince him to let Art win the match.
You have to make him feel like he earned it tomorrow. You can't just give up in the middle of the match.
You sure this is what you want?
What else could I want? How am I supposed to know if you're gonna do it?
You won't.
And here the flashbacks heighten the audience's curiosity. What will happen in the match? But the audience's curiosity is also heightened when we realize we know more than the characters or we know less than them. This brings us to the two types of exposition. As Sid Field says, exposition can convey information that neither the audience nor the characters know, and also it can convey information the audience needs, but all the characters know. In this scene, Patrick and Tashi reveal something. Art doesn't know about Atlanta, and neither do we, the audience.
Does Art know about Atlanta? You keep saying you came here because Art needed matches. I think you came for something else.
But later, in a flashback to Atlanta, the audience finally learns what happened, just as Art does, while Patrick and Tashi remain unaware. In this scene, neither Art nor us, the audience, know if Patrick and Tashi spent the night together.
Okay, how about this? If the two of you slept together, do a normal search. Art, I'm not asking you to tell me. I'm just saying, if you fucked, serve like me.
Like you?
Yeah.
You know you have a tick, right? Before you throw the ball up, you place it in the exact center of the neck of the racket.
Patrick uses Art's unique way of serving to reveal this information. This movement is known only to Patrick and Art, but not Tashi. Years later, the night before the match, Tashi and Patrick are together again. This conflict is unknown to Art, putting the audience in a position of dramatic irony. We know more than the character until it pays off during the match. During the match, Patrick repeats the same move he used when he was with Tashi the first time. Art then becomes aware of the situation, but Tashi remains oblivious.
Deuce.
Fuck off!
Code violation, audible obscenity, point penalty, down.
This masterful game of who knows what, and when should we know, is masterfully executed in challenges because the audience is engaged and we turn into a tennis ball, so we can play this little game during the film. I really appreciate films that respect the audience, creating an engaging experience. And the screenplay for challenges is no exception on using the secret power of flashbacks. Thanks for watching ScreenplayWise. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more screenplay breakdowns like this one.